Hi Professor, my name is Shivani and this is a presentation for our first assignment of Social Data Mining Techniques. Our group number is 5 and I am here to provide you the overview of our assignment, and the rest of my team members will be explaining about their responsibilities. So in today's presentation, our discussion points would be basically the data description of our data, the database that we have used, some code snippet from our code, and the web application. Talking about the data, we took our data from Kaggle, the link to which is provided in the slide. So basically the data is about the employees in city of Chicago, and these are the columns that we have in the data. So name is the name of the employees, and job title explains the title of all the employees, the department where the employees have worked, whether the employees have worked full-time or part-time, whether the employee is paid hourly or salary basis, the typical hours, and the salary rate of all the salaried employees, and lastly the hourly rate in their hourly pay. Talking about the database, we chose MongoDB to store our data. So the data is grabbed from Kaggle and is stored in MongoDB. The cluster was created and the collection was created to store the data into the as in the form of documents. Talking about our code, backend code, this is the folder structure of our project. So we have this templates folder that holds all the HTML files. The main file is the apps.py, and next to that is forms.py. So this is base.html, which is the main HTML file of our website, and this can be considered as the parent file, where all the other HTML files will be extending this file. Talking about index.html, this is the home page of our web page, a web application, and it provides you 4 links, 4 buttons where you click to perform the CRUD operations. Apps.py is the Python file which holds the backend code of the integration of our backend code with the web pages. Lastly, the forms.py file is holding the structure of our forms that are displayed on the web pages. So this is our web application where this is the main page where all the buttons are available to perform the CRUD operations. Next to that, we have the create page, read page, and update and delete pages. This is the screenshot of our create page wherein you enter the details, and clicking on the button will insert one document into our MongoDB. Similarly, we have this read page which displays all the documents that we have available in our MongoDB. Then we have the update page and the delete page as well. So this is the end of our presentation. Now I will be talking about my part in the project, in this assignment. So my task in the assignment was to create the HTML files, all the HTML files that were related to this web application. Starting off with the base HTML file, as I said earlier, this can be considered as the parent page of our web application, and all the other HTML files will be extending this file for their execution. So this is the basic structure or basic template of our base.html. Then this is the index.html, which will be the home page of our web application. So as you can see here, the base.html file is extended in this particular file, and we have written the block for the functionality of this particular HTML file. So the whole flow of the pointers here is that actually the base.html file is run but we have this body block. So all the files that are extending this base.html will have their code fitting into this body tag, or you can say this block of body. So taking an example of this index.html file, as I said, there are 4 buttons. So we have these buttons in this particular block. So the base HTML file will be when this index file is extending the base.html file, this particular block is kind of pasted onto this body tag. Same is the functionality that is happening in all the other HTML files as well. So here you can see the delete.html file. This one is also extending the base.html file, and the block code is written here for which explains their part of the HTML file. Similar to that, we have the create.html file. We have read data, which will give you the which will give the data that is read from the MongoDB and will be displayed on this page. Then we have update, and the last one is complete.html. Every time this successfully one operation is performed, like create, update, delete, or read, the success message is displayed because of this complete.html. Thank you.
Hello Professor, my name is Aditya Patel, one of the group member of Group 5. My part in this project was to handle the database. I have chosen MongoDB Atlas to perform the operation. Firstly, I have created a project in MongoDB Atlas named DataProc, under which I have created a cluster using Amazon Web Services. You can see the configuration on the screen. Moving ahead, the cluster, there is a database named data which holds a collection named Chicago. This is a data and this is the collection. Our data is stored in this collection in the form of documents, and the type of this document is dictionary. This is the data we have stored in our atlas. It goes up to the last row. We have to. Now I will tell you about my part in the coding front. So my part was to connect our application with the database. So before we start, we had to install DNSPython in our project. Sir, DNSPython is a dependency which is required to establish connection with MongoDB cluster. So in terminal, we installed by using command pip install DNSPython. After installing DNSPython, I have imported PyMongo and Mongo client. Mongo client is used to connect with MongoDB, and PyMongo is used to perform manipulation onto it. As you can see, variable name client, which stores the connection with the cluster established using Mongo client method. Passing the URL, this is the URL. Then after, there is a variable named DB. It is used to hold the information about database. Name data. After that, there is a call variable. Is This variable is used to store the info about the collection in our database. And after I have loaded data in pandas using data frame. After that, I have called call.drop. This is used to drop all the previous existing data. This is done so that every time we get updated data. And after that, I have used insert many method to insert data into the collection. So this was my part handling the data and storing the data into the database. Thank you, Professor.
Hi, I'm Sonali and I'm a member of Group 5. So, we have downloaded the data from Kaggle using Python. And as you can see, there's a username and unique key that we use to connect Kaggle. Also, we have specified the URL of the dataset that we want to download. This dataset is downloaded as a zip file, and we are using the zip file library to manage it. And here you can see that every page on the web app has a form, so we have created a structure for it. We have also created a data form class, and we are also creating the objects of this class to use the data from the forms.
Hi, my name is Kishan Patel. I'm a member of Group 5. In this assignment, I have performed two of the CRUD operations, which are create and read. For creating a document, we have a web page that has a form. The user can enter the details of the document in the form on the web page. When the user clicks on the submit button, the form is submitted method is called. The data which is entered is stored in the result variable, which is then passed to the call.insert method as an argument. The call.insert method, which is a part of the PyMongo library, is used to insert the document into our collection. When this is done successfully, the completed.html web page is opened, which shows the entered data. The next part is the read operation, which shows all of the data in our collection. When we click on the read button on the home page, the read data method is called. In this method, we use call.find method, which returns the whole dataset. This dataset is then iterated over a loop and displayed on the web page. Thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate this. When we click on the create button, we can enter the details in this form. Now when we click on the submit button, the data is pushed into the database and the entered data is displayed. We can click on the home button to go back to our home page. When we click on the read button, we can see all the documents we have in our collection. Like this. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Aditya Dave. I am a member of Group 5. In this assignment, I have performed two of the CRUD operations, which are update and delete. Talking about the update part first, we have 2 pages for the update section. On the first page, the user enters the data that he wants to look for and update. And on the second page, we have the new data that the user enters, with which the old data is updated. When the user clicks on the submit button on the first page, the user is redirected to the second update page. Along with this, the data that he enters is sent as well. On the second page, when the user enters the new data and clicks on the submit button, the find one and update method is called, which is a part of the PyMongo library. The first argument is the filter that we want to search with, and the second argument is the new data that we want to replace it with. By default, this method returns the old data, but by specifying the return document equals to return document.after, the method returns the updated data. After this, we are redirected to the completed page, which displays the new data or the updated data. So I'm going to demonstrate this now. On the first page, on the main page, when we click on the update button, here we want to enter the data that we want to search for, the old data. So I'll enter the data that we already have. And when we click on submit, we are redirected to the second page which says enter the new data, the data you want to replace it with. So here I'll type in, we are going to change the name, and for the sake of simplicity we are going to keep everything as the same. So when we click submit here, we are redirected to another page which says that the operation was successful and the updated data is displayed here. Moving on to the delete part, when the user clicks on the delete button, we are redirected to a delete page. On this page we have a form as well which the user can fill in, which has all the details of the record or the document that the user wants to delete. When the user clicks on the submit button, this forms.isSubmitted method is called here, and inside this the details of the form are stored in the result variable. We are then passing this result variable into the find one and delete method as an argument, which is again a part of the PyMongo library. When this operation is successful, the data or the record is deleted and we are redirected again to a completed.html page and the deleted record is shown. So when we click on delete here and we enter the record that we just created or updated, and when we click on submit, the record is deleted and the deleted record is shown here, and we can click on home to go back to the main page. That's all on my part. Thank you.